Hi, I'm Gio, the director of Effortless English, and welcome to the free 7 rules email course. Today is rule 1. Now, rule 1 is learn English phrases, not individual words. This one, just like all the other rules, is very simple, very easy, and like the other rules, this rule is very, very powerful. So simple, so powerful. What is the rule? The rule is always learn phrases, not learn individual words. So simple. So a phrase is a group of words. It's not, you can help a whole sentence, but it's just even a part of a sentence. So for example, let's say you have the word hate, H-A-T-E, hate, and you want to learn this new word. You can write down the word hate, and then you find a dictionary, the meaning, and you memorize hate. That's the old way. That's the kind of text way in the school, and you trying to memorize all of them to try to remember these individual single words. It's not a good way to learn. Much better if you learn phrase, a group of words. And where do you find these phrases? You find these phrases in the Real English podcast, and when you're listening to, and the Real English story that you're reading. So you don't memorize all it in the book. No. You listen to the Real English, and when you hear new words, you write down. Or when you are reading a storybook and you see a new word, you write down. But do not just write out the words. You want to write out the whole phrases or sentences that in all of it. So instead of saying hate and you just write out the hate, you would say and you write down John hates ice cream. You write down the whole phrases. Why do we do this? What is the power of phrases? Well, phrases give you a lot of information, much more information. Number one, phrases are easier to remember because they have meaning. They have a kind of picture, a story. Especially when you get them, you're reading or listening to, you will remember John hates ice cream. You remember the whole story. You remember who John is. You remember he hates ice cream, and then you remember he hated it. He didn't like it, right? So you have all the extra piece of information. All of extra information help you remember the meaning of phrase and the meaning of that words. So it helps your memory much easier to remember. Number 2, that's a bonus. When you learn phrases, you are learning grammar also. You are not only learning an individual words. You are learning grammar, you are learning how to use that word correctly. You don't need to think about the grammar, you don't need to think about the rules. It automatic is another way that native speakers learn English grammar. Because when we're children, we learn with phrases, we learn groups of words, not just one word by one word by one word. Word by word is slow and it doesn't help. And you don't learn any grammar. But when you learn the whole phrases and you write out the phrases, you are getting extra information. Maybe you don't know it, but you are, for example, John hates ice cream. Just like we're as on hate, and from grammar and grammar study, from grammar, you're making the subject verb agree. You don't need to think about that. Just write down the phrase John hates ice cream and study it and review it. Always learn the phrases, not just that word. And so in the future, whenever you say he hates ice cream, she hates ice cream, you will add that as this right, because that's how you learn correctly, and you learn it from the phrases. On the other hand, if you learn it from a text, you learn the word hate means you does not like, and you only learn that form hate, and that's when you start making mistakes, because you learn it only this one way. You didn't learn it with other words. So sometimes you will say he hate ice cream. You will forget the s, because you never learned it correctly in a sentence, in the phrases. So if this is a very simple rule, our last rule in the course is very important. Every time you find a new word, always find the phrases or the sentences. When you review the words again, when you study it again, always study the entire phrases or sentences. Never study just the word, always the whole phrase. Do this every time for grammar. Will begin to improve. It improves much faster, and you will remember the vocabulary faster and more easily, and you will use that vocabulary more quickly. So you get a lot of great benefits. A lot of great stuff happens when you learn phrases instead of words. So phrases, learn them. I hope you enjoyed rule number 1. Use this rule. Now your homework is to get a little phrases in your notebook. So when you find new English vocabulary in a lesson and in something you are listening to, in a book, in article, write down the phrases, not just one word. Write down the entire whole phrases that you find, and then review that phrases again each day, and you will create a notebook full of phrases, full of sentences, not individual words, never an individual words. Okay, so that's rule 1. Tomorrow you will get another email with rule number 2. So see you tomorrow. Bye bye.